Tenzin or Jose.
Jose, aka Tenzin, man.
AKA
Nice.
Tenzin. Yes,
Good
sir.
to have you, man. I bet
Thank you guys
it's been
for
a while
having me.
since we've been talking about you, man. How you been, man? How's
Oh,
everything?
Well, good. Starting the weekend good. That's why I have the sleepy face.
Oh,
It's fine.
man.
You know yourself.
The definition of happiness is when you don't set up the alarm.
Yeah, bro. When you fucking turn it off, that's it.
How was growing up in Venezuela, and what did you come to Ireland?
Well, grow up in Venezuela look, I won't lie, like it's fun. I love it, of course. I love
How did you go to Venezuela?
No, well, I'm talking about Venezuela
Okay.
first. Like, so yeah, like I mean, it's hard. You know, it's hard. It's a hard country. There are many different situations with politics. I don't want to get too deep into that because but it's it's difficult situation. You know, like for me, I grew up in a good place between whatever happens, it's relatively good compared to the rest.
Yeah.
And but I used to be a messy teenager, I suppose like all of us. I spent like my last part of my life there was my teenager years and starting to be adult. Like I came here when I was 22. Oh, big fun, bro. I remember my city so much, and it's so I still have like good memories,
When
even
was
though it
when
was
was the last
very
time you
hard.
visited?
Like,
When was the last time you visited?
oh, I haven't been there since I moved, man. I have 8 years outside and haven't visited. Yeah.
You're willing to go back for like maybe a few weeks, maybe a month or two?
Well, I was planning to, man, if not the end of this year, probably next year in the middle or something, get a visit, because now I start to feel it. At the beginning I was like, yeah, like
I feel
you
good,
see, like
yeah.
you plan so long to go and live somewhere else that then you don't really think. Well, at least in my perspective, how I felt it is that I didn't even think to visit or to go or to even come back or anything. But now I start to feel it, like after 8 years, like okay, I actually need, like touch the roots again, like.
What would you say was the biggest difference in Ireland and Venezuela? Except the weather and stuff like that. Like I know Venezuela's hot and stuff. So
Right.
And the islands, the weather is bipolar. It's one minute it's raining, 1 minute it's snow, 1 minute it's sunny,
Yeah.
1 minute it's lashing. Like what was the big difference you seen like in Venezuela and Ireland?
Well, like in the livelihood kind of thing, bro. I'd say first the safety. Like it's way safer here, man. Like, and we know that everywhere stuff happens, right? There is
Wherever
good,
you
bad
go,
people.
there's
There
bad
is
people.
people
wherever,
in no, but because I used to think that, you see, this was very ignorant of me. Like, and I even said it in a song, like in one of my bars. It's like. I used to think that all the bad things happen only in Venezuela until I went outside. I'm not talking specifically of Ireland. Like I visited some countries now, and I realized it's just everywhere is the same, bro. It's just in a different scale, But the safety is one of the main things, man. Like here in Venezuela, I couldn't walk in the night, like 7, 8 in the night. It's already time to be home.
You couldn't
Yeah,
even be
man.
out.
I mean, you could, but it's
You need
you
to
have
know where to
to
go.
eyes everywhere and be sure not to go through dark lanes. And if you hear a motorbike, you pray, man, because that's the sign.
It is kind of similar here. You don't want to be going out very late. For example, you don't want to be. There's some areas to avoid in Dublin at a very late time.
Yeah.
But most of the time here, like no one is gonna talk to you.
Actually, you want to hear a funny story? In my country, man, once I was in my city, right? And I was walking very late from, let's say, one part of my city to my house. That was like, I don't know, maybe a kilometer distance. So I was just walking very, very late. And it was very cold. I used to live in a mountain, like, I don't know, 1,500 meters over the sea or 300, something like that. So very, very tall, very high. And it was very cold, So I was with a hoodie, and I used to have this t-shirt with a turtleneck. So I was face covered, man, and I listen a motorbike, right? So this is very typical from my country, because when you hear a motorbike coming, you are like, oh God, please, no. So I hear these guys, and they just pass by me, right? And I'm like, oh, nice, yes, thank you, God, like. And then the guys turn back, and I'm like, fuck's sake, no, fuck me, man. Bro, the funniest part is not that. The funniest part is that they stop, they point me with the gun.
Wait,
at
gunpoint?
Yeah. Oh, that's all the time like that, bro. It's very weird that they don't show you.
Bro,
around,
I'm giving them my house, my keys, my bro,
I'm
giving them everything on the spot.
That's what you should do. Like, you don't argue nothing. Like, phone, hats, shoes. Like, bro,
Boxes.
me go. Whatever, man. You know what I mean? So the guy goes down. There were two guys, one driving, the other one in the back. So he leaves the bike point at the gun like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Give me everything, bro. And my first reflect was just to uncover my face. Yeah. And then we realized that we knew each other, man. The guy tell me like, Jose? And I said, well, I won't say his name just in case, don't say bro, I said, bro.
The human being?
Yeah, human being. And he says to me like, bro, what the fuck are you doing covering your face this late, walking in the street, man? Go home, bro. I'm working, like with the gun like this. I'm fucking working, bro. Go. And he let me go, bro. That was so lucky. That was so fucking lucky, man. Because, most of these things end up in ugly times, like it could be a shot in the leg, could be so many things that could kill me there. Like, yeah, man. But yeah, it's funny now. In the moment I was like
praying to the Lord.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You say like the crime is down there. Like what's the because the crime happens in Ireland, but let's say Venezuela, what would be the biggest crime that goes on down there?
Robbery. There is a lot of murdering, like violent deaths. In a weekend it can be 40 people there, just violent.
40 per person a night?
No. 40 people shot or stabbed or dead by violence in a weekend could be. It's quite normal, It's just a quick. It's just less. It's a bit less now, but still like around those numbers. I was just thinking like.
How is tourism over there in Venezuela? Like let's say like me and Martin, we kind of decide, let's go to Venezuela. What are the precautions, you as a Venezuelan, what are the precautions we should take, to the do's and don'ts?
Well, first thing, bro, right now, because the country came in a process of, implementing dollars as currency. There used to be like two economic markets, right? I'm not an expert on that, so I won't be super detailed, right? But what I mean is that people started to use dollars because the money was worth nothing. Like I used to buy a baguette with a bunch of notes like this big, notes.
What was the Venezuelan?
Is it pesos?
Bolivars.
Oh, bolivars.
Bolivars, yeah. So basically, like after that process of dollarization, I think that's the right word.
Yeah, it is.
I guess so. People started to be a bit more careful with tourists, right? Because they understood that they bring the money that they're gonna use later, obviously. Yeah. Now, even with that, I wouldn't be like, I recommend to everyone, go to my country, it's beautiful. Yeah. But first thing I would recommend, like, make sure you have someone there, that can be with you.
I'll say, hey, yo, we go to Venezuela, come take with us.
Yeah, are you there, bro? Yeah,
you there, man?
Sure,
come on.
Man. That's the main thing, because
where's the guy that stopped on the bike? Let's go say hi to him.
Yeah, well, man, he'll be happy. Maybe we drink a beer with him and everything. You know what I mean? Like, we used to study in the primary school. That's why I was so lucky. It's like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But yeah, make sure you have someone there that go with you to the places, that show you around, because like you don't want to get in a wrong place, and even in safe places.
And speaking of, South American countries, what are the safest South American countries to go to? Safest and the funnest. As a tourist.
Well, I never been in another South American country myself.
Like in general,
but I know
from what you know, you as a South American, as Venezuelan, I know you haven't been in all of South America, but
none.
But like at least you have better idea. How are Colombians? How are Chileans? How are Argentinians? How are
I'll say Chile. Chile is the safest. Chile would be the safest to go as a foreigner, as a tourist. Like.
What about like Brazil, Bolivia, Ecuador?
Well, Brazil can be, depends on the place. Like I'm not very knowledgeable, but I know that they have similar problems than us, and like sometimes. Well, there is a lot of kidnappings in Venezuela, and I think Brazil is kind of the same problem.
If they kidnap me, how much would they ask for me?
Oh, bro, depends. If they think you have money, bro, they might.
€5.
Oh no, but maybe I don't know.
€5.
A few thousands, few hundred thousands.
Bolivia, Chile, Argentina. Like, what about these places? Would you let's just say I'll be like, okay, Martin, let's go to Bolivia. What do you think of Bolivia?
Well, Bolivia, I'm not really sure. I don't know much about Bolivia. About Argentina, I know it's tough. Like if you go to the capitals and everything, but I think it's good to visit anyway. Like I wouldn't give you the same precautions of Venezuela, for example. Like Argentina is good enough,
And Ecuador is Ecuador similar to Venezuela?
Well, it's a bit safer. than Venezuela, but I know there are a lot of gangs there as well. Like right now, they're having a huge problem because there was a coup d'état that happened, and the ones that took the power was basically like criminal gangs.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. That's what I know. Like if you look deeper into it, it might, you might get more info. But that's so far.
Favelas, is that what's called?
The favelas.
Favelas, yeah.
Would that be like in Venezuela as well? Like,
is there a favela in Venezuela?
Yeah, like we build it. We build them the same way. Like it's the same kind of structure, Like now in Brazil, the difference is that they are more like cities. For us, it's more like a huge neighborhood, like a huge ghetto, let's say. So just build these houses, with bricks and this. I forgot the roof, the ceilings, how they made the material with this. Particular name, but I don't remember in English. But it's like it's like this kind of tin can type of material for the ceiling, and one on top of each other, and they're huge. Like there is there is one that is quite big. It's called Katia and Petare. They're like the two main. Katia, and the other is Petare. It's like the two mains of Caracas. One is on one side and the other one. They're rivals.
Okay, so like there to be like the one side here that's kind of fighting with this side here and stuff like that. Like would that be kind of, I think, then in Venezuela, or is it kind of like they're just wrong people, flat, just kind of anybody's getting it? You get me? Like how does it work down there? Like,
well, I'm not like me personally. I'm not from the from the ghetto myself. Like I am not. I know what any regular person from Venezuela would know. Like I'm not super into the system there, but I know that there are rivalry between some. We call them barrios, but it's basically ghetto, like the meaning of the word. So like there are rivalry between them, but it's more about gangs. If I'm not wrong, it's not like they can be like, oh, you're from this ghetto, I'm from this one, I fucking hate you, whatever. But I think it's more about the gangs.
Street, you're from this street.
That happens. But I think it's more about the gangs themselves.
Let's say if I went there right now, let's say we went down there right now. What would it kind of be kind of like? What would happen down there? Kind of what would
like if you go into one of these neighborhoods,
like let's say I walked in without knowing that this is the place. Like would the locals?
Not even like that. Just kind of like
just walked in.
Just walked in and kind of like, okay, I want to explore down here because everyone always says that
avoid it. They don't try to avoid it.
Yeah, avoid it. Like, has a bad reputation, but in real cases like nationalized people, what kind of happens? Do they kind of kidnap straight away or what?
No, well, the one kill you straight away, but they're gonna notice you straight away because they know everyone from there. Even me, that I look from the country, like they would like, hey, this guy's not from here, And if I'm alone, that's when it's a problem. Like I wouldn't go there if I'm not with someone from there, walking with me and bringing me around.
So like let's just say us as foreigners, and we walked in, and like us two guys, we are here to explore. Would they do anything?
Well, it could happen. Anything can happen, man. That's the thing. Like, I wouldn't like to say like 100% yes or 100% no.
Would I get any warnings? Let's just say locals. Like, let's just say.
Well, someone can approach you. Like,
let's just say
what are you doing here?
Someone, they're gonna be like, "Hey, yo, if you wanna go down this road, just be careful." Like, would they warn me as a?
Some people would. Like, of course, like it's like there's all kind of people there, So maybe some people feel sorry and say, "Yo, guys, what are you doing? You're not from here. Get out. Like, get the fuck out before something happened." Maybe some guys come trying to intimidate you. Maybe someone tried to rob you. Maybe you're lucky enough and nothing happened because it's all about luck. Anyways, it's throwing a coin. But I wouldn't do that if I was you. That's kind of the point.
So tell me, Jose, tell us about your music career. Tell us how you started from the beginning. When was the moment you were like, okay, this is when I want to start music? And how did you start music? Like, did you see something that motivated you to start, or was it a way of you to express the tough life that you live? I wouldn't say tough life, but how how Venezuela as a tough country is. Like, did you start music as a way of expression or as you like it?
Well, honestly, like since very young, I love music, man. Like I used to watch rock and roll concerts, like in DVDs in home. Like my mom, my dad, they like music as well. Like a lot of Afro-Caribbean music as well is very popular there. Like like salsa music, merengue music. Like they're different. Like it's like African rhythms mixed with the Latin and a little bit of everything. Like, But I since very small, I always liked the idea to play music, to entertainment, to perform, like exactly, like
plus, you have
create.
the charisma for it. Like it's not just music. Like even us, we talking to you, we can feel your energy. We can feel like, oh, this is me. This is what I do. Even when you talked about the tough life in Venezuela, you were like, oh, that's how it is. Like, what do you want me to do? That's how I'm seeing from you.
Oh man,
Yeah, literally.
thanks. That's so nice, bro.
Yeah.
No, well, like the turning point, let's say, because okay, for me, it was hard, the idea to do it in Venezuela.
Yeah.
Like some people, I don't know, some people is lucky enough and resilient enough to do it and be successful there. Like big respect for those guys, especially the rappers, bro. The hip hop scene took a while to really be accepted and respected, and before we're just a bunch of criminals according to people, and drug addicts, smoke weed, this, that. But like to me, it was like when I came to Ireland, I came basically leaving the situation there, because it was in a period of years that you started to see people eating from the rubbish. I did queues for food, like for a kilo of rice, a kilo of flour.
Wait,
like
so you waited like
6-7 hours in a queue for a 1 kilo of rice.
Here.
No, in Venezuela.
Oh.
So I'm just giving you context.
But sorry, I got messed up. I got confused. Sorry, I got confused. It's like, but wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Like we were in that period of time, this was happening a lot. So, I just borrow money of some relatives, like a little bit of money, gather like, I don't know, $2,000, $3,000.
7 hours for just a kilo of rice.
And sometimes you wouldn't even get it because it's finished. So it's like by that time was tough, man. Still tough, but that time was particularly tough. So I was just tired of that, and in my mind was like, fuck, I cannot do so many things if I had to think to eat. Like there is sometimes no water service, no electricity, so like you wouldn't shower in 2-3 days sometimes. You wouldn't. Wow. You get me? Like it was really, really hard, man. So, and for me, that I was not even like poor, I was like medium class.
And that's just medium class.
Medium, So imagine like medium class doing queue for food. Like imagine what is below, bro. Those people were, oh man, they were the ones eating from the rubbish, like losing everything every time. Like, anyways, just that was the context. So my turning point in music, man, is that when I was in the plane here, that I said, fuck, I finally made it, bro. I left. I'm going to a place that I will have like a, let's say, normal life. I can eat 3 times a day. I can shower every day. I can, like. So I was thinking like, fuck, what's my excuse now? What I always wanted, because I was really meditating, looking in the window, and I was like, in the plane, like all this dramatic, movie-like scene for me.
As you were descending, you were landing in Dublin. You were
basically, man, yeah. So I was like, what am I gonna do now? Like I was just thinking that, what am I gonna do now? What I wanna do? Say, fuck music, it always been music for me. It's just that I was because at the end of the day, right, if you want to do something, there is no excuse, bro. You're hungry or not. But for me,
same with me, man. Like, I can actually relate to you, man. Hungry or not, poor, rich, my mind is in something.
Exactly.
Like, I feel you on that one.
So, for me, I was putting that excuse, like, oh, but I cannot have a normal life. How am I gonna do music? And it's also hard, the music industry there. Like, it's very harsh on the artists. Like,
what were the biggest kind of, besides salsa and Africa, what were the biggest kind of music, like in Venezuela? In Venezuela,
well, no, just to finish the last question, because I didn't make the point. I decided in the plane, like, you know what? I'll do fucking music. I'll take it serious from now. And ever since I'm here, the 8 years, that's what I've been trying to do as much as I can, and
but look at you, man. You're doing collaborations. You're doing your thing. You're freestyling. You're doing your music. You're playing. You're going out doing gigs. You're doing your thing, man.
But I actually learned to rap here, bro.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I arrived, and there was a group of. Just hold on that question, because just to finish that, because this is a very, very nice moment. Like, because I arrived, and I actually happened to arrive in a house that everyone there wanted to do music as well. So these guys were good freestylers, good rappers. And I remember once I was trying to freestyle, they were kind of like, nice, but like, oh shit, he's so bad, what I mean? But then I wrote one song, bro, and in one of those gatherings, I just said, guys, I have a song. And they were like skeptical, they were my friends, not like bad feelings, but they were like, show us, bro, shit, like, and then like they were all like, yo man, fuck. So then I started to grow from there, like, and hip hop was kind of something that opened the door for me to write songs, because before I used to play guitar and stuff, but I never wrote a song. So that's what hip hop did, and yeah, that's basically how I decided answering that question. So
forget about that question, but
Yeah.
like when you get to Ireland, like I was gonna say, like the rap thing, you started off in English. What kind of damn.
The rap in English, like how did you shift to Spanish or something like that?
Yeah.
See, bro, I read your mind, bro. I know you, bro. I know you, bro. I know you, bro. I know you, bro.
I was thinking.
I read your mind, bro.
I speak a lot, bro. So if I get caught in an idea,
You're gonna
finish it. Sorry about that, man.
So,
No, well, look, I never actually rap in English because these guys were all from Venezuela or Spanish speakers, the ones in the house. So I just did in Spanish, and that's I've been doing it like that ever since. Like right now is that I'm trying to implement English a bit more, try to learn. Like I'm very bad in English, man. I have to say.
no,
Like,
you're good at English.
Yeah.
You speak.
I know, well, but rapping, you know,
Yeah.
it's like rap is a different skill. Like, you know, I wouldn't be able to rap
That's like
properly.
that's
you know?
like me giving you an item. I'll be like, okay, rhyme me with this in English. You're gonna sit there the whole day, be like, what the fuck? am I supposed to
Bro,
say?
man, sweat.
Like
you
if
know,
I
like,
give you an orange, it's gonna piss you off. Say it, orange door hinge. What the fuck? Am I supposed to say?
yeah, exactly.
Could you
man.
sing in English though? Could you sing?
Yeah. I could. Like, I mean, I studied English before, and it's not like you know, the language. I'm quite confident. I love English. You know.
Explain to us what the Irish Latin exchange. What does it do?
So well, we call it ILX. I know it's with E, but just with the
ILX,
it's cooler with the X. You know.
Alex.
Alex. So well, basically, man, it's just because what Romeo always explain is that, you know, here we have, and well, you guys can relate, you have long time here as well, your families or you came from somewhere else, like it's basically that, you know, open spaces for free expression of art and, you know, sharing cultures and languages. Like it's the main thing of our group is the multilingual thing. So we have like featurings which we did, like, I don't know, a verse in Spanish, another in Portuguese, another in English,
Arabic,
you know, or in Russian, or there is one guy that join us sometimes that he's from Jordan as well.
Oh, Jordan.
Yeah,
Jordanian.
Jordanian, yeah. So he, you know, well, he's actually a beatboxer, but he, you know, he do his verses in Arabic. So the main thing of that is to create that space where you don't have to feel, well, this is Romeo speaking through me, big brother. he's always say like, hey, you don't have to feel the obligation to sing in English if you don't feel like, if it's not your language, or if you don't do your music in English. Because one thing is to want it to do it if I want to do it because I want. Another thing is to do it because I'm like, oh, but you know, I don't know, maybe people don't get it. I mean, of course, language barrier is something, I understand that insecurity, but that's the whole point. It's like, show that everything can be mixed there, you know, like you don't really need to feel out of your thing.
You don't want to feel left out or feel uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Like, if you do it in your language, that's it. You did it.
Exactly. And that's the beautiful thing as well. You know, we like we've been doing some things in a social level. Let's say City West Hotel. You know, there's a lot of refugees there. We've been a couple of times there for the IOM center from the UN, the United Nations. Like we did little presentations there, but you know, like to kind of show the project and give it some different time to the refugees there as well.
You actually performed at the COS Hotel.
Yeah, for the refugees, for the guys there. You know, the IOM, the group, the immigration, Irish. Oh, what's the meaning? Well, IOM, it's basically a refugee organization from the United Nations here in Ireland. So, well, and different countries as well. So yeah, we've been there twice, and we always try to get involved in different groups. Last week or 2 weeks, last week, we were in a meeting of the LASC, which is a Latin American collective that, you know, they do events. They same idea, but focus on Latin Americans. So we joined them there. We showed them a bit of the project, gave them some freestyle, some music, talk about the ideas that we have, the plans that Romeo, Michael's his actual name, Romeo is the rapper name, have. And well, the main thing is to, you know, use it as a education kind of channel, you know, for people, like show that we have more in common than we don't, you know what I mean? And through hip hop, which is let's say the tool that we use.
Yeah.
I actually felt like I've been living under a rock because I seen the influx of like Latin Americans, Brazilians, and all people from South America, but I didn't know there was actually like an underground kind of, until he actually texted me. I never knew there was a Latin underground music scene. I always knew I knew about the drill and the kind of the pop Irish thing, but I never knew the Latin. But I read your profile and I looked into the music collective, and I seen there's a big influx in that as well. So that really kind of shocked me as well. Kind of, so that's actually good on you, to for bringing that kind of culture into Ireland and stuff like that. I'm not saying they're on of Ireland, but like to go to bring it.
It's good to have something new for the people here, because I said it before and I'll say it again. You know, in Ireland, especially in Tala here, not a lot of people know about the Latin culture. Ireland in general, like not a lot of people know about the Latin, the South American culture. Like not like it's just like if you go to any Irish person, you're like, oh, do you know anything about South America? They're either gonna tell you, oh, Brazil, favela, Mexico. They don't know that this is all part of what you guys do. So it's good to have this type of introduction in, and it's 2024. People gotta learn from each other.
That's true.
Because
true.
you don't want to have like, for example, you don't want to have an Irish person going somewhere to the other side of the world who's gonna be like, what is this? What is this? What is this? So it's good for him to have this type of information.
True.
Before, like, let's say one day he flies off, I was like, okay, at least I know what this is. Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah, of course. Yeah. No, well, yeah, that's the. Thank you, guys. That's nice of you. Like, yeah, that's the main idea. Like, just to show that there are spaces. Like, and I always say this. Like, this is from me, not from Romeo. Like, it's like Irish Latin is just the name, bro. Why? Because we started with Latin Americans and Irish people, but honestly, bro, it's just a space to share cultures, man, and to share language, and to share music.
If you're Irish, if you're Latin, if you're whatever,
Russian, Japanese, whatever, bro, like from Libya, from whatever, man, like that's the main point, to show that it's beyond that, it's just about human beings sharing something in common. Again, in this case,
so
the collective
ending
hip-hop
racism.
music.
Ending racism.
Well, yeah, that's one of the topics,
racism,
of course, one of the topics, and but through education, man, because you see, like, me personally, I don't like too much the confrontation part, because that's when we will never agree. You know what I mean? If we are always competing to see who have the best idea, who is right, who is wrong. Okay, yeah, someone's right, someone's wrong, for sure, man. Or someone's more right than other, let's say.
Yeah.
But the real thing is that if you do it through the aggression, through the confrontation, the crashing of ideas, it will never end, bro. That's how I see things.
But if you bring something and I bring something and we share it and
exactly, and even I don't have to agree with your ideas,
but then
creating the space.
At least you're listening. I'm listening to you. You're listening to me. Exactly. And I'll be like, oh, you have a point. Oh, okay. And then we be like, oh, we're very similar. And then we be like,
and that's how you really transform.
This is how you meet each other in the middle.
Exactly, meeting in the middle. That's what I believe. It's hard. It's the hard way. It's the hard path. But I think it's the way.
It's the best way. It's the best way. All right, Tenzin, this is the moment I'm so excited about. Can you play something on the guitar for us?
Maybe a song of mine. Let me just find the. Wait. I have some time. Wait. I forgot that one. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna freestyle. I love reggae, man.
I love this song. I'm telling you, man. This guy is the real deal, man.
Let's give it a show or something.
Yeah, bro. The best seats in the house.
Bam bam biddy bam bam biddy bam bam biddy bam bam. Bam bam biddy bam bam biddy bam bam biddy bam bam boom. Bam bam biddy bam bam biddy bam bam biddy bam bam boom. Bam bam biddy bam bam biddy bam bam. La vida abruma a veces, pues hasta su cielo azul no está siempre contento y no está siempre colorido. Las nubes lo entristecen y le ponen otro mood. Y me acuerdo que estar triste me recuerda que estoy vivo. Todo ha cambiado tanto que parece que fue ayer cuando caminaba por la calle sin pensar en qué. En el tiempo de un chasquido todo puede perecer. El funeral de una estrella hace 1000 galaxias nacer, nada es cuadrado. En la vida todo es circular y cuando sientes que avanza se vuelve una espiral, porque al mismo punto nunca vas a regresar, pero el punto de partida desde arriba lo observa. La vida es nuestro lienzo, en el futuro ya no pienso, del ayer no me avergüenzo, nunca es tarde por un nuevo comienzo. No tengas miedo al sendero, mejor atrévete a caminar. La vida no es una carrera porque a los coñazos todo sale mal. Si no sabes tu siguiente paso, confía en tu instinto como un animal. Y siempre que caigas al lodo te paras, te limpias y vuelve a empezar. Yo, bam bam biri bam bam biri bam bam biri bam bam bom, bam bam biri bam bam biri bam bam. Bam bam bom, bam bam biri bam bam biri bam bam biri bam bam bom, bam bam biri bam bam biri bam bam. Woo! Yeah. Thank you, lad. Nice, guys. Thank you. Of course, bro. Her name's Lucille, by the way. Lucille. Introduce you.
Let's show the
Say
camera.
hello.
Here.
Nice
That's
to meet
Lucille
you.
right here, guys. You know that's Lucille. Let's show the other camera here. Look, that's Lucille right here. You know.
Yeah.
You know, this right here is a piece of art, man. Jose, this is the final part of the podcast before we close it up. But now it's time for the fun part, bro.
Oh,
This is the fun. This is the
fun part. Yeah.
This is the fun part, bro. All right. All right. So I'm gonna explain to you a scenario, and you as Jose, what would you do?
Okay.
So it could be anything at all.
As Jose or as Tenzin?
A little bit of both. What would Jose do, or what would Tenzin do? Okay?
Oh shit! So double answer. Okay, let's do it. I
Okay.
think I can do it. Let's go.
Number one. Your mother beats you up for losing 500 euro. You lost 500 euro and your mom beats you up. You go back to your room after your mom and dad beats you up bad, and you find the 500 euro in your bed. What would Jose do?
Jose?
Yeah.
I mean, I got beaten already, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, after you got a nasty ass whipping off your mom and dad, like, I'm not talking about like a slap.
How old am I?
Like 13, 14.
Okay.
No, I'm not talking about like a slap on the wrist or slapping. No, I'm
No,
talking
like
about
fucking proper beating,
about
proper beating.
like a UFC level ass whipping of your mom and dad.
Fuck, that sounds like my dad, bro. He fights tough, yeah.
And you
He's
go
a
back,
fighter.
you go to your room, you with a black guy or something, you see the 500 euro that you lost, you find them on your bed. What would Jose do?
I'll save them, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
I paid the price already. They're not counting with it. I'm a teenager.
Yeah.
Why not, bro? 500.
What would you do with the 500?
By that time, bro, probably buy a console or a expensive pair of shoes because
Yeah,
it
but
was
they're gonna
very
be like,
hard.
where'd you get that from?
Oh, they won't see it. Don't worry. You know, bro.
I'll give it. All right. Scenario number two. Scenario number two.
Right.
You walk in on your son and he's smoking.
My son.
Yes.
Right. Bro, lucky enough, I put this one in my head.
All right. He's smoking tobacco.
Yeah.
What would you do?
Well, bro, I have to say I have a problem with smoking. It's my biggest addiction. So I wouldn't be hard on him. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be hard on him. No, but just context, because, you know, imagine like if you're an alcoholic and you catch your son drinking alcohol and you go too hard on him, it's not fair, right? So that's why I'm putting that context. Like, to me, bro, I just sit down and say, listen, what are you doing, bro? Like, but chill, bro. I would make it a nice moment for him to see what he's doing, because like the reason young people get addictions and these kind of things is because, you know, they feel like anxious or you know, they don't feel
the
that
parents are already hard on them, you know?
Yeah, or they don't have no one that listen to them or that properly explain them the things, you know. And that's well, you can see even here in Ireland, bro. Young people, there's a lot of young people lost.
That's actually a good answer.
So, you know, I would really sit down with him. Listen, son, why are you doing that? Listen to him and give him reasons on why, you know, it might not be the best, but everything chill, you know, keeping it chill and keeping it like warm, close, like, yo, you're my child, I love you, you're not in trouble.
Speaking of keeping it chill, here's another scenario. He crashed the car. Hold on, wait. He talked about.
We can't even finish the show yet. We started late, so we have loads of this. Like 10, 20
Yeah, no, we're still going. I'm not saying we stopped. All right, speaking about keeping it chill. Your son crashed the car.
Right.
And keep in mind, your car, the cars that you have is 2024 Rolls Royce or whatever it is.
Okay.
crashed the car.
Expensive shit. Right.
Why would you do that?
Well, I would ask him first, what was he doing before? Like, depends, because, you know, accidents happen, that's fine. If my son have the car, I think there is a chance that he will crash it 100%. Even I would. So I would ask him, like, what were you doing before that? You know, if he said to me, like, drinking or smoking weed or shit like that, I'm not gonna say, no, I won't do beating to my children, to be honest, because that's, you know,
me neither.
I won't do that, man. But I'll be like, if it was some bullshit like that, I might be like, yo,
I hope it's your mom's car.
Yeah, you know what, bro? Nice. You crashed the car, but no more fucking car for you, bro.
Wait, so
you
would be a church? I'm not saying like Hopper
Absolutely.
terrorize them, but kind of like slap or kind of.
I don't like that, bro, because every time that happened to me, the message that they tried to bring to me, it went backwards. You get me? They told me don't smoke, and I started smoking. Because they told me don't smoke with a slap. You get me? So, you know, and my parents were lovely parents. I'm not saying, you know, they are love you, you know. Like, but, yeah. But, you know, like, that's the way. Also, in Latin America, it's a big culture of that, you know, like, oh, you know, use the belt, boom, or the flip-flop, or, you know, like,
I'll be getting an ass whooping off my dad, you know.
What's the legacy you're trying to leave with the music? Because I know with a few artists, they always trying to leave a legacy for when they die. What's kind of your kind of like message, or what's your kind of like saying to people like before you die? Let's say you're near to death, and what can be your message, or like, even now, like what would be your kind of message before with the music and stuff like that, and life in general too?
Well, I don't know if I mentioned, but I am more about writing lyrics, right? That's kind of my main thing, more than guitar, more than singing, like the lyrics, and well, obviously singing them, like most like in rap kind of structure. But the way that I write is a lot about self-development. Like I talk about a lot, because you see, like as I said before, like I came from certain background, not the worst for my country, but still like very tough, and I used to think that these things were not possible, you know. So I think that's why I write about, you know, things like, you know, self acknowledging, I don't want to say a weird funny word, bro. Anyways, like self development, bro, like talking about it's possible, work for it, do it, throw yourself, I like this metaphor, throw yourself to the abyss, you know, because falling you will learn how to fly, bro, you get me? But if you don't jump, you're just there wondering what's there, you know, what's happening there, like, oh, I don't know, I'm too scared to do it. So like my message, bro, is that whatever you wanna do, whatever you think, it's possible if you really put first of all, bro, your fucking heart. Because commitment is an issue in human beings, you know what I mean? Like compromise, it's like, it's hard, especially with your dreams, bro, because you always wonder, like, oh well, I used to be a very insecure person, so I was always thinking like, fuck, what if I do it wrong? What if I fail? What if it's cringe?
Same.
What if it, you know, like,
that way as well.
No, but yeah, it is, it's, you know, like, so it's that, you know, I was thinking all these things. Now, bro, I don't give a fuck. Why? Because it makes me happy, bro. And I want to share that happiness, you know, I want to share that same feeling that I got before, that, oh, fuck, I don't know if I can do it. Transition to, oh, I can do it. I do it. I am this, you know. I am Tenzin. So that's kind of the point. Sounds a bit, I don't know if I put it right. That's the point. Like, just go for it, you know.
And
that's
the name
message.
Tenzin, where did the name come from?
Ooh, I love that question, bro. Like, I always say, the name chose me. I didn't choose the name. Well, as I told you, I'm a big nerd, right? I was watching this TV show. Do you know Avatar?
Yeah.
The guy that controls the elements. Yeah. So in the second show, because there is the Legend of Aang and then it's the Legend of Korra. In Korra, the only airbenders that are there, the ones that control the air, is Aang's son. So it's the Avatar son. The Avatar of the first TV show, his son is on the second TV show. His name's Tenzin. What happened is that there is one particular scene I love the character, you know, because he go through a lot of development. Like you see him as one type of person, and at the end he's like completely different. He, you know, he go through his demons, he go through his difficulties, and then he find himself. So that's the main point. Like there is a particular scene that he's looking for his daughter because she get lost in the spirit world. And oh, this is so nerd, bro. And and then in a particular part of the spirit world, there is a section of the let's say the forest, because it's like a forest called oh man, I'm translating from Spanish. This it's something like the forest of the lost souls, something like that. And that forest is full of mist, which means you cannot see anything. Whoever gets inside there have to fight his worst fear. So if you get there, you're gonna get crazy. That's why nobody can leave, because once you get inside, you cannot leave, because you're gonna be constantly fighting your worst fear over and over again until you kind of overcome it. So the scene where he overcomes his fear, he was afraid of not being as good as his father, and he see a vision of his father saying like, "Yo, yes, you're a failure, but because you're trying to be me and not you." And that's how he got free. Like, that's basically in a nutshell, you know, but that's how he got free of the mist, and he could find himself, and he found his daughter. And, you know, from there is that you see the real change on the character, and that he start to really do what he's supposed to do, you know?
Doing everything by yourself, or are you just like have a manager, publishers, and you have everything in sorted, or can you just do it all by yourself?
Well, the little things that I have released right now, like I was everything very independent. Like there is one song that I actually produced the beat and everything. Well, my only solo song in Spotify at the moment is there, and I did the beat. I sent it to a producer to do mix and mastering. Like I did like some basic mix and mastering myself, but you know, I wanted to do the proper thing. He re-recorded some things because, you know, I mean, I did a bass line, but I'm not a bass player. I did a drum pattern, but you know, these kind of things.
So it's just these minor adjustments that you wanna.
Yeah. Like, well, for that song, that was the case. You know, his name's Luis Lizardo. He's back in Venezuela. He's a great musician, actually. He's going to a big festival now, bro. Good luck. But yeah, like I was saying, is that usually I like to create my demos the closest possible to the final product, and then I sort it out with producer. Talk to a producer, well, in Venezuela or here. Like I have a couple of friends that they do. I don't know. Some of them are better in boom bap. Some of them are better in trap.
What about investors? Have you, like, I don't know much about the music business, but like, let's say you went into a producer, like, would investors invest in a music artist or in a music audio or in a music video? How does it work? Well,
that's the part that I'm really bad. But
so what's the question?
So let's just say, you know, Tenzin came up to you. You're the producer. But about me as an investor, I want to invest in him to create more. How would it work? And you're the producer. I know nothing about producing.
Well, obviously,
but I'm an investor. I want to invest in him.
I mean, it kind of all depends. I'm assuming that like the producer also wants money as well. Like, if he's known that, if he's known that you're kind of investing in him and he's making the beat mixed and mastered,
he wants a percentage.
He just wants a percentage. It'd be like, with you and that MMA thing, like if you're a cut man, you're gonna get a fee. Even though you do obviously you're doing a lot, but you do too much as well. Like, so in that regard to the producer, like he will get a cut. Like, and if you're investing in him, like he has to sign a contract basically saying that what do you want? Like, is it a tree project? Is it kind of keep your masters and you kind of like you still release music under me? Like, how does it work? Like, kind of like all depends on how it works together. Like, a typical kind of music deal will kind of like an album, like 2 albums in space of maybe 2 years, and that they give you maybe 1 million, 2 million in advance, and you have to kind of pay that back off. Or something that you owe me, and that's basically a loan, and you don't really keep that money because you know the A&R has to get a call, camera has to get a call. If they're bringing you around the places, that get a call, they take a call. The code line, basically anything they do for you, they get a call. You're only left with 200K, so it's like what I would say is not really worth it kind of going in that route unless you know what you're doing. And
or depends who you're dealing with, because I mean, as an investor, it might be different than a label. You know, labels are, I think, the ones that do this the most, like what you were describing. Like, again, this is the part that I'm really bad because I'm more about do the song, perform it, you know, record it. But like it's usually the little bit I know, it's that it's usually made by contracts. You know, like everyone have a split. Like for example, if you're a producer, right, and I'm the artist, you're gonna get your cut for mix and mastering. Like the mastering, usually you divide it by who created the song. That's one part of the cut. Then you have mastering. That's another part of the cut. And I think there is recording royalties. And there is one that I don't remember. Let's say those three for now, but it's something like that. It's no more than 4 splits just creating the song, you know? So then, well, if you want to do some marketing, bring it somewhere, you'll get sponsors, blah, blah, blah. I guess that's when the other things come, you know? But usually you get a cut for creating the song, you get a cut for the mastering, and you get a cut for recording.
Well, ideally, you can like keep all that money if you do it independently. Like, you can keep basically like 80% of it, and the rest
90% of it.
Yeah, 90% of it, and the rest goes to literally the producer or the whatever.
Or whoever published it.
Well, you can do that on DistroKid or YouTube, whatever. So it doesn't really cost that much. But obviously, the camera has to get caught, and you can just pay him like €200, and that's kind of it. Then also the producer has to get a cut as well. Because
so that's why you believe you should do it. Everyone should. You should do it independently.
Or as much as you can, you know, as much as you can, because at some point you're gonna need someone. Yeah, you know, like
that's why there's some kind of like distribution deals and JV deals where like basically like. I love brain fog there. But what's kind of so basically like in the JV deal, they'll say, okay, we'll do one project with you, and in that project we'll give you 300K. That's a loan. You paid out. Let's say the project makes 900K, and they invested 200K with you. So 800K goes back to them. You're left with
200K extra.
Yeah. What I say? It's 800K.
You said 300K and then.
No, sorry. Let's say it sold 800K. A million. Let's say a million, and 200K goes to them because they invested in you. The €800 you split it down, so that's 400K to you and to you. So you're getting it back. So they basically invested in you. Where a label is kind of like they own you. So the distribution deal kind of different. Well, this distribution deal will kind of be they're kind of taking you off DistroKid and stuff like that. Like they're doing it on their own platform and that kind of thing as well. So they basically keep a percentage of your label
revenue,
the revenue as well. But they don't actually keep your masters as well. So that's kind of your thing. Whatever you want to remix it, whatever you want to do anything with it, they kind of
they get a cut or they
get a cut, something like that. So that's what I'll say. Just stay independently.
Yeah, like there is this famous case of what Michael Jackson did to Eminem, right? Bro,
oh my God,
bro, like that's the best example. That's the best example. Man.
I love that so much.
Like just like it, the song.
Yeah.
No, just lose it.
Just lose it.
Bro, he makes so much fun of Michael Jackson in that song, and Michael was like, like. Bro, I really respect you, man. Why are you doing this to me, man? I don't like that, you know? You're insulting me. And at the end, you know what Michael did? Michael bought the song, and I think he bought more than that.
I think he bought the label.
He bought the full label, bro.
So basically, Eminem couldn't do shit, man.
Like, he's like, well, I'm the owner of your music now, so you cannot sing that song anymore, okay? And Eminem,
Eminem couldn't even sing it.
He couldn't say anything, bro, because the label was the owners of those songs, and Michael Jackson bought the label.
Yeah.
So he's fucked, bro. No more Just Lose It live. No more remix. No more, you know. Man.
That's what I say. That's a boss move.
That's a savage move.
That's what bro. That's a boss move because for you to do that, you own that person completely. You get me? You can't touch it about you. You can't do anything about you.
Man.
He's getting your royalty.
That's hilarious, bro. Yeah. It's a good example.
Yeah. So I think that's we'll wrap it up for now.
We'll wrap it up for now. Tenzin.
Guys, that was amazing.
Thank you so much.
Fucking love the ride here, guys.
Man. Thanks, bro.
Thank you, guys. And I hope I can come back. Episode 4. That's my camera.
That's yours there.
Episode 4, man. Woo! MYTV.
MYTV. However you want to call it.
MyTV.
Yazan TV.
MyTV. Yazan TV. Let's